What's up, everybody? My name's Jake. This is Rocket's Return. Welcome back. Today, I've got, I think, a final update for you from Beckett from them losing my card. So, let me give you a quick refresh. I send card to Beckett. Beckett receives card. That's different for them. Nothing happens. Beckett receives card again. Makes no sense. After I've emailed them and asked, hey, like, I've had this card for this amount of time. It's been this long. What's going on? They decide to finally respond. Cool. After that, I have to call Beckett. Beckett then gives me all the information that I'm looking for. However, I've emailed them about multiple things in that span. Never once have they answered. Okay. Then they finally do answer, saying that they've received my card a second time. Makes no sense. Then I get one about 3 days later that says they've invoiced my card. Okay. After the invoicing, I realized that the grading service says it's standard when I paid for Express. I don't know what happened with their system or whatever it may be. So finally, I've been in touch with the same lady the entire time. I'm assuming when you select the category, that's hers. Like, that's where that goes, is to her. But that didn't go over well. So I tried a different category because I was doing something different. So I send them an email saying, hey, I paid for the Express and it's labeled as standard. And the lady responds with, can you send me proof essentially that I sent that to you, or that I paid for that? I said, well, yeah, I paid $79. And right here, it says right there, for some reason it said 75. So I was like, okay, maybe they had a price hike and I missed it. Okay, cool. And here's kind of the main point of this video. I know where my card is now, which is good. It'll be here in I don't know, probably longer than PSA times, because the email that I got back slightly frustrated me, but it also just made me realize that these major companies are lacking something, and that's going to be the main point of this video today. Before we get into that, my card's coming at some point. It's in the standard selection, so it's not moving very fast, which is crazy because I did not pay for the standard selection, but I'm not going to fight it anymore. It's like a difference in like $30. I'm not sweating it that hard. I sent an email out on the 3rd of May and I didn't get an answer until like literally last night around 7 p.m. Eastern time, which was really weird because something tells me that they were not like up and operating. Somebody was probably answering emails from home or something like that. So I sent, you're going to have to excuse me, I'm looking at this note page because I have a lot of notes to make sure I cover everything. I sent 5 screenshots to this lady. I said, look, I sent a screenshot of BGS receiving the card, a second screenshot that shows them receiving the card a second time, completely different dates. Okay, that's crazy. A third time showing that it had been invoiced, a fourth time showing that they acknowledged the card had gone to their grading, service, the next step, and 5 showing a fifth showing my selected service. Okay. The 5th screenshot was the biggest part because, like I said, the information says I paid for the standard service. I paid for Express. We're already past the Express time, like by 2-3 weeks. So that's wild to me. And I stated in that email, hey, like, I paid for the Express tier, but y'all have it labeled as standard. Is this like something that it says, or am I wrong? She says, well, show me the proof, like I said earlier, and I showed her. Okay. And her response was it was kind of ridiculous. It goes to show that anybody can hide behind a keyboard, and these mass corporations, clearly they don't have what I would call leadership. They have probably management. If you are in the corporate workforce, you work for a company that uses management as a name, you probably hate your job. Okay. If you work for a company that uses the term leader, director, they have a cultural lead or a cultural overhead of somebody who overlooks that department, you probably actually like your job more than a lot of these places. When I interviewed at my current job, they asked me, they were like, we're looking for a lead. And I said, yeah, I understand that. they had questions, and I was like, what made y'all use lead instead of like manager? Like, well, we've been doing some cultural reforms recently, and we've realized that manager has like a negative connotation. And it does. It does. The only time that manager works well is when you're like trying to explain to somebody the rank of your position, where you say like, I'm the general manager, or I'm the shop manager, or I'm the it's like saying you're the vice president or something like that. As to where like if you say I'm a lead, most people are like, okay, but like what do you do? That's the only time that those really work. And my guess is, judging by the response that I got, which we'll talk about in just a second, they have a department manager, and they probably are really bad at their job. Just saying. That's just my opinion. So I stated in the email that I paid for the express tier. It's already past that time. My recommendations for a suitable fix were a partial refund for the difference, or just send me the stuff, a voucher or whatever you want to put on my account for a free submission. We'll get into that too. My thoughts on this as to like why this happened was my card was received twice, right? So the first time they received it, it probably was received under the express tier. And the second time they received it, they were probably like, oh crap, we already received this one. We missed it. Just put it in the system because he's already paid, right? There's just a lack of customer service. It's what all these companies are missing right now. A lack of customer service. It goes to show that like when you work in a facility that the majority of your customers are not hand delivering their stuff, because these companies do have drop off. But if you look at it, like there's a place you go, you drop them off, you leave, they send them back to you, or you can pick them up. If you live in that area, that's great. But if you don't, like, which is the mass, the large mass, and like on a huge scale, not even like a marginally larger, it's like a massive amount floating into one area, and they put it in there, they do their process, right? Cool, whatever. But here's the thing, and this is where tag fails, PSA fails, and Beckett fails for all separate reasons. So this is not specifically towards Beckett. For all the PSA haters, this isn't towards PSA. And for all you tag lovers, this is not, this is for y'all too, period. The people who hate tag, the people who love tag, the people who hate PSA, people who love PSA, people who hate Beckett, people who love Beckett. This is for all y'all, period. That's all it is. So the issue is that there is a lack of customer service. Let me just give you my background. I was a lead operations director, whatever you want to call me, the head of a Chick-fil-A for multiple years. Okay. So yeah, my levels of customer experience, my expectations are much higher than most. Maybe I've been spoiled for the 10 years that I work there. I just can't sit around and treat or be treated like shit because you're behind an email. Just can't do it. So let's talk about a few examples. When tag was kind of first coming onto the scene, somebody y'all know, Ramsey Rips Packs, took one of their slabs and he had it in his hand. They applied pressure, pop. He's like, wow, that was crazy. That shouldn't happen. Maybe it tries again, pop. And he does it a few times and he breaks them. And their response was a failure, to say the least. They came for him in the comment section, which is wild. This is alleged. My guess would be that they didn't have an HR department, and they might not still, but they didn't have one, and they didn't have somebody who was experienced in that. And because it is a group of people who put this together and they all put their money into it, they were probably all a little offended. They thought, oh my God, this is going to ruin us. And they panicked and they fought that with anger. So I don't know for sure. But like my experience with Beckett this far, if they had offered me a free submission, I probably would have taken it eventually, but not right now. And this is a thing. There was a guy that commented on one of my previous videos that said he's going through the same thing with Beckett. It's probably true. I don't doubt him. Everything all the detail, the minor amount of details he gave me lined up with everything I've been through. You send them an email, you try and call them, they don't pick up, or they do pick up and like they give you like 5 sentences, like at most, and that's it. Like, yeah, your card's on the way. Yeah, I see where it is right here in the system. Yeah, thank you so much for calling. Bye-bye. That's it. When it comes to the email thing, they 9 times out of 10 they don't respond. I sent 5 separate emails trying to get in touch with somebody. 2 of them got replies. 2 of them. And the second one, the one that like I was talking about my submission, they said, well, oh, the reason that costs $75, if you look, because the submission price is $79 for Express. I was like, okay, y'all didn't just have like a price hike or something? She's like, no. It's like, okay, so maybe I missed this. And like, I'll own that. Like, maybe I did. The reason that your submission went from $35, which is the standard, to $75. Okay, we're talking about a $45 increase, was the cost of shipping and $12 in insurance for one card. This is a single card submission, people. This is crazy. So I've decided that I'm tired of arguing and having to defend myself and stuff like that. It's fine. It's whatever. I know the card's there. I know it's coming. I wanted it back sooner, but it's fine. I'll deal with it. You know, I know nothing about Dragon Ball. I just know that I really like the card and I thought that it was clean. I don't know centering. I don't know any of that. If it gets a black label, it gets a black label. If it gets a 9.5, it gets cracked and it gets sent to PSA to get a 10. That's all. I get this email back, and the email, although it explains this stuff, the next line was what it shook me to my core, stunned me. I was at work reading it. I was walking down an aisleway next to one of our machines, and I went and stopped dead in my tracks, to the point where one of the men who worked for me looked up at me and he said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good. What's up?" He was like, "Why'd you?" And I said, "Oh, I just reading an email." And he said, "Work?" And I said, "No." He said, "Oh, okay. Okay. Are you good? Like you don't, nothing stuns me all that often." And, I was like, yeah, man, I'm good. Thank you. And he was like, "Yeah, okay. I'm going back to my machine." I was like, "All right, cool." And I just kept going. And so I sat down at my desk and I responded. And the part that stunned me was, it said, "What you paid for was this, and this. Pay attention." What? You did here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a massive dude. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little overweight. I know that. We're working on that. We're trying to fix ourselves right now. We've got some testing done that we've discovered part of the problem. 1 is sleep apnea. 2 is some other stuff. We're going to figure that out too. One of the things that, like, I'm not a small guy. If you ever see me in person, I'm pretty broad. I'm a pretty big dude. I'm, average height, but I'm pretty big. I go to the gym pretty frequently and I lift pretty heavy. Like, I lift because I want to be strong. So, I can guarantee you that if we were face to face, the person who sent me that email would not look at me and say, "Pay attention." Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's like, because of that, but my stature does go into, your stature does go into how people respond to you. And, I'm not a small guy. I'm in work boots most of the time. So I've got like 2 extra inches of height. So I look like I'm like probably 6'1". And it just cracked me up, because I was like, wait, did you just tell me to pay attention? Did you really, as like I'm a customer? Okay. If I had to go meet with a customer in the field I work in and say, "Hey, pay attention to what you're doing," my boss would have my ass. All these companies have this lack of customer service now. They showed theirs recently when they destroyed this guy's extremely expensive lenticular deoxys card. And they said, "Hey, we're going to pay you partial for our own damage." They have another apparent lawsuit coming where this guy sent off like, I think they said it was like $50,000 worth. It could be more, it could be less, of sports cards. And he did all the research, saw the tapes, everything from FedEx, saw it get sealed and sent off. And then they checked the tapes, and now he's got a lawyer involved. And it looks like he's going to win that one, saying that somebody stole them. Okay. And their response was, "Well, we'll give you this much money, but you got to sign an NDA." Okay. So they make everybody sign an NDA, it seems. I don't know about that, but like, the part in that is you're offering a substantial amount less for stuff that somebody took, probably in your own facility. Again, a lack of customer service, like, let alone the stealing part or whatever may have happened. I don't know. That's just the story that I've seen. I don't know that like, what's going on with that fully, but I know that the response was not very good. Okay. Beckett responding to me the way they did, pay attention, is not good customer service. Like, these people are sending things that have sentimental or monetary value to you, and they have no access to them. It's not like they can drop it off and come back and make sure you still have it. And you choose to treat them like shit. Like, you choose to treat them like nothing that they say matters and their feelings are invalid. This is 2026, people. That doesn't go well for us. So I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can wrap this up. Like, all these grading companies, they're getting in tons of stuff, and their response to you is always with aggression or frustration. Or, I get it, they could be stressed, but at the same time, like, we have to learn, if you want to keep customers and you don't want to look bad for your company, then you have to bite the bullet and suck it up and respond professionally. I work a blue collar job. If I responded like that to somebody, my boss would still have my ass. I work a job where you can sit and go, "Hey, fuck you," across one guy to another. No customer was around to hear it. They would just say, "Don't do that." But the moment you bring your customer base in and you tarnish the reputation of your company, because reputation is everything, and especially when it comes to collectibles, buying, selling, trading, all of that. You know, if you run an eBay store, if you're Ken Golden, if you are a vendor, all that, all these things come down to your reputation. That doesn't excuse these large companies from treating you like crap. So, like, yeah, after this, unless I have like the cleanest of clean cards, and I mean like flawless, and I have a real shot at a black label, I won't use Beckett. I'll keep going PSA, because PSA hasn't done me dirty yet. You notice I said yet. Okay, it could happen. I understand that. I understand why some of the people have problems with PSA, but I have yet to feel that struggle. So I'm going to keep doing it. Anyway, this video went a lot longer than I thought, and I got to go to work. I got 12 hours ahead of me. Thanks for watching. Leave me some comments down the comment section. Talk shit if you want. I don't care. Appreciate you. See you in the next one. Peace.